Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream, welcome back to Gran Turismo 3. And we're here for another weekend, another grind. I think this is the 26th stream we've done of this, which is quickly stacking up. But yeah, we're still having to grind single races in the professional league, but hoping today we can finish the 2 Drivetrain challenges and maybe even get a start on the race of the Red Emblem. But that's our objectives today. What's up, Rob and Lisa? Hopefully you guys' week was good. Looks like we're having a slower start than usual, but that's fine. So, I guess without further ado, let's just get right into it. So yeah, we're hoping to do the MR challenge, 4-wheel drive challenge, and then I think all that's left in the single race is, yeah, this race of Red Emblem. I don't know if we'll get to that today, but that seems to be the plan. Plan. So, let's start the timer. I already know what car I want to use for at least MR challenge. I did some testing last night. And we have some options, but we'll see how this goes. So, next part of our playthrough. And I need a car. And I think we're going to reuse a car. I kind of feel like I should use the Zonda. We already used it before, but not spending, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm actually going to detune a little bit. Yeah, I spend $100,000 or more to buy like a XJ220 or a GT40, or you use what we already have and save a little bit of cash. And I've admittedly done no testing, so we're gonna use this on the C12S. So, hey Desert Raid, hey Like Type, get a Hot Wheels Cup race. Anyway, we're going to professional league, and we're gonna go to the MR Challenge Mid-Engine Professional Series. Again, only MR vehicles. 3 races. It's gonna be 10 or 15 lap slugs. So let's go. Oh, your game stack's nice. And yeah, the reason I picked the Zonda with, you know, all its horsepower is because our competition is also going to be similar. So, the Ford GT40, Lotus Esprit 350, the Boxster equivalent, and of course other Zondas. This drives something faster. I don't know how my gear ratios are going to be. Remember, this car's a low top speed. We're using the same tunes as from the Zonda races at Rome. Could have used the Lotus Esprit V8 from Turbo Challenge, but I felt like that car wouldn't handle enough. That was all reliant on power. And while this car does have horrible brakes, it's fast, and it could handle pretty well. Alright, so I may have taken the lead really early. There you go, I had full send. They're pretty fast. I thought the GT40 would be faster in this race. There's only 3 Paganis in this game. It's on the C12, C12S, and the race car. We've driven 2 of them. Driven all 3 technically. One of them is in a license test. Yeah, James, the biggest news of this week was the announcement that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for $70 billion about. And that's huge. Absolutely huge. Like, it's, I believe, the biggest gaming transaction in history. You managed to find a copy of GT3. Nice. Did you buy it? But yeah, they spent a lot of money on Activision, and the question a lot of people are asking is, does that mean all the Activision IPs are going to be Xbox exclusive? And that not only includes like Call of Duty, but it's also like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Tony Hawk, Overwatch, even, is it World of Warcraft run by Blizzard? It's like it's a ton of properties. And Xbox made a statement saying they're planning to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, at least keep all existing agreements going. That wording is super specific, and it doesn't really tell us what is their plan long term. Hey, Party Spider. Jerry's not super. PS2 games cannot play on a slim PS3. They can only play on the first generation, so the fat PS3. And it's also only the first model of it, so there's like another generation of fat PS3s that can't play PS2. You can also find a PS2 for pretty cheap too, though. Asphalt's finally getting a Club Wars update. You know, that's nice. I'm not really interested anymore though. Because the club racing we already could have done only within each clubs, and the rewards were literally nothing. Actually, the stage 1 tune is maybe a bit too powerful. I didn't realize everybody would be stock. I mean, I'll continue with this. But it's going to be kind of just driving around in the Zonda for a few laps doing time trials. I mean, I could pit. I think the other Zondas are going to pit too. You know, there was a rumor, I think it was last week, but there was a leak/glitch where some PS3 games showed up on the PS5 store, and people immediately thought, are they bringing PS3 games on backwards compatibility? If they are, that would be super hype. I'd hope they'd be able to transfer the save data, though. But that would revive all the PS3 games that are, you know, becoming impossible to find now. So they're just now adding a new map to multiplayer that was already there for a few months. I guess that's typical game launch, right? But yeah, the Activision Microsoft deal is like really huge, and it's weird because like some people are totally hyped, aka, you know, Xbox fanboys that just want to see a monopoly. I mean, I'm on the PlayStation side, and it does worry me because it puts pressure on Sony to really deliver on their first-party games. And if they lose licenses to, especially like Crash and Spyro, and, you know, I don't play Call of Duty that much, but if they lost the Call of Duty license, that would be a huge loss. Or maybe Xbox tries to push Game Pass so much that they tell PlayStation, you can have these games, but we're going to charge them with Game Pass, so you'll always be at a disadvantage. And, you know, long term that would lead to you know, less of a player base on PlayStation, so that, you know, if a new game releases, especially in 2022 these days, right? New games suck these days. So if like the next Call of Duty releases and it's trash, instead of paying $70 for it on PlayStation, feeling like you got ripped off, you just download it off of your Game Pass subscription. And if you don't like the game, you're like, okay, well I have access to 400 other games and no sunk cost really. So it actually helps Activision because they could say they had a ton of players, and then it helps consumer because they don't have to waste their money. It doesn't help Sony, who is trying to make their sales off the games. Because remember, they took a loss on PS5 production. PS5 costs more than they sell it at. And Xbox is doing the same thing, but since they have Game Pass, Xbox can... Yeah, realistic. Microsoft is huge. Like, they're worth something like 30 times the size of Sony. They have so much more cash, so much more money. They could completely lose on the Xbox front. Lose so much money. Which is what they're doing with Game Pass, right? They're losing a ton of money from not having any game sales and, you know, taking a loss on newer consoles. And what that's doing is just turning Xbox into the Netflix of video games. Since they already make enough money on Microsoft Azure and Windows and Microsoft Office, and everything else they're involved with tech-wise, their cloud platform, they don't need to have Xbox do well. Sony needs PlayStation to do well. So then it brings the question of, does Sony try to respond with a Game Pass? They do have that PlayStation Plus collection, which is a selection of really good PS4 games, but they aren't brand new releases day one. Like, if I wanted to, I could subscribe to Game Pass for $15 and play Forza Horizon 5 right now, or I could buy it for $60. And the only way that would pay for itself was if I was with the service for less than 4 months. After that point, owning the game is cheaper. But then at the same time, with Game Pass, there are some games that stay on for a really long time, and then, you know, some games, yeah, need taken off the service, but then by that point they're old enough where they'd be cheaper and you could just buy the disc or buy the digital version to own at a sale. So, you know, I'm going to play the new Test Drive game when it comes out. I am absolutely going to play it. I'm worried for it, though. Legit. I am really worried about how it's going to do. I feel like the Test Drive is not going in a good direction. Just out of gut feeling. I have no evidence to tell you why, but something just doesn't feel right in this situation. But I will play it, yes. And I'm excited. I love Test Drive Unlimited 1 and 2. I hope this third game, you know, brings back those memories. But I just feel like they're going to try too hard to be like Forza and end up, you know, falling on their face. Cars are in really good shape, in a way. The setup is just overpowered. The one thing Microsoft is doing that is really scary, in my opinion, is in terms of preservation for games, they are murdering the market for that. Because, yeah, these games are on Game Pass, but then when a game gets taken off the service, number one, there won't be as many physical copies available because everybody's doing the digital Game Pass service. They don't need to produce that many actual copies. Because remember, only the Xbox Series X actually has a disc drive. Series S doesn't. So there'll be plenty of digital copies around from the people who bought it. And then there'll be a smaller number of physical copies from the people who, you know, want to put it in a disc. And long term, Because remember, Forza Horizon 1, 2, and 3 are off the Xbox store right now. They are dead. You cannot play it unless you have a disc or have it already installed. In a few years, when Horizon 4 and Horizon 5 are taken off, and therefore taken off Game Pass, you can only play them through disc. And if there's less discs available, that means it's going to be harder to find a copy. It doesn't help the case of preservation. There's the route of emulation, but emulation for a Series X game is going to take like a decade before they can figure that out, and we have computers that could do that. So, just like right now, they are barely getting Forza Motorsport 4 working on emulators, but it's still barely functional at a bad frame rate. But you can at least get the DLC again. But it still has a long way to go. We lost physical music discs. Well, we still have CDs and vinyls that release. They're just expensive. And the thing is, I will argue that music and movies are not the same as games. Because with music and movies, especially music, there's just so much available. And the experience is, for a song, like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Some songs are longer, but you know, small number of minutes, single digit. Movies are going to be an hour or two. Games could be 50, 100 hours, and those experiences are largely customized compared to what you do based on your skills, your creativity, what you want to do with the game, the online. Streaming a game like Netflix style is completely different than just popping a movie on Netflix or just putting on a playlist on Spotify. It's great because people get to play a ton of games, and everyone's saying, you know, you play more games, you're better, but you really experience the games. And, you know, I'm a busy person, and I don't play that many games every single month. Game Pass is a great value if you like, you know, the renting games option. By the way, we just completely dominated, almost lapped that Esprit. So the GT40 is the fastest. Alright, I think I'm going to take off the tune and see if I can beat the AI with the stock Zonda. Yeah, Forza Motorsport 7 died last year, a few months ago. So that's the thing, there are no Forza Motorsports at all within the Xbox store. You can only play them through discs. And you can't buy any of the DLC now. You'd have to find a way to hack it. Alright. Let's take off the engine. I think we're going to leave on the other stuff, like the... I don't think I have any other engine tunes either, do I? No computer. Let's stick with that. But look what's happening with the iOS store. And I know the mobile game market's different, but so many classic iOS games are completely gone. And you can only like play hacked versions, and if somebody saved the IPA, you could play it on an old device. But, you know, yeah, there's less rewides on them. There's less incentives to play a mobile game. It's still games, and it still should deserve to be preserved. You should be able to go back to Asphalt 7 if you wanted to. Asphalt 8 will eventually get taken off the store once it finally dies, and then we have to find a way to play it. Alright, this seems more fairly matched. Yeah. I don't know if it's rose-tinted glasses, but for real, these PS2 games are so good. I feel like a lot of them aged so well. GT3 just drives so nice, even in 2022, where we have pinpoint precision racing games. This game feels a lot like an arcade game, but the controls are just so good. They are so good, man. It was really ahead of its time, and it holds up today. If they had this exact control and physics, in a modern racing game, I'd still love it. And besides just Gran Turismo, like, play the old Crash Bandicoot and Spyro games on the PS1. I played recently the Ratchet and Clank trilogy on PS2. So good. So good. All three of those games. The old Grand Theft Auto is so nostalgic. You know, Super Smash Bros. Melee is still like the most popular Smash game these days. And there's a huge competitive scene for a game that's over 20 years old. People still play the old Mario Karts like Mario Kart Wii and Double Dash and 64. If you look at speedrunning, everybody plays Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. Like, there's this generation from like 1996 to like 2005, and then a few outliers. So good. So good. There were a lot of bad games, sure, but that was mostly hidden behind shovelware. Yeah, I'd say most of the GT series aged like fine wine. GT2, GT4, and GT5 I'd say without the online even. And it's not like GT1 and 6 are bad games, it's just these games are so good. So yeah, it looks like Asphalt. Like, they're trying to do some different stuff, but you know, I just feel like the game's a shell of itself. We're getting more of the same. Hasn't really changed since I left. What game do I like more, GT3 or 4? GT4 is my favorite game of all time. I love this game. I really do. If I had a top 10 list of games and I wasn't like, you know, one per series, this would be in the top 5, I'd say. GT4 I think is a little bit better than this. Mostly because of the car and track list, and the physics are still great. And also the races are much more reasonable. There's also a lot more to do. I think GT2, or not GT2, GT4 is the best racing game ever created. Just, it's aged so well, and all in a single player game. It's like really just a love letter to the car. I played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, of course. I 100%ed that game when I was a kid. Game's so fun. We're in a good scrap with this GT40, but I think I'm about to go around the outside. Ascend. You know, for GT7, I'm excited, but at the same time, I just have a feeling the community's gonna be disappointed. And no, my verdict. I didn't say I would be disappointed. I think I'm gonna like the game still. But you know why I think I'm gonna like the game? It's because I believe the game is gonna be exactly like GT7, or not GT7, GT Sport, if it had a single player mode. That's honestly my expectations. It's gonna be GT Sport with the proper single player. But by proper single player, I mean GT6's career mode, where you have a, you know, rabbit chase, where you start in last place in a rolling start, and then, you know, catch the one guy on the last lap, over and over. But you get prize cards and customization and a bigger car list and, you know, better tracks, classic tracks, but, you know, it feels like a giant DLC pack for GT Sport. But I don't mind. I love GT Sport as a game. And driving model feels really good on GT Sport. I just think people are expecting to get GT3 and GT4 carbon copies. And we're just so far ahead in graphics, and Polyphony is such a small studio that I just don't think that's going to happen. My favorite car in Hot Pursuit 2 was the Ferrari 360 Spider. That was like one of my first dream cars too, was the 360 Spider. I loved driving that thing in the game. And running from the cops. Yeah, so Asphalt 9 has, or Asphalt 8, sorry. Asphalt 8 has a box, a mystery box where you pay $10 and you can get a random car. It could be a supercar. It could be a D-class car. It's completely random, and it's straight up $10. The loot box, one of those mystery figures you buy at Walgreens, like a Pokemon card pack, except you don't know what you're gonna get. Except you're literally paying for a mobile game car. It's like, come on, that is so bad. This game's marketed to kids. Yeah, Midnight Club. I don't think Midnight Club's getting revived until Microsoft buys Take-Two. I'm joking, of course, but honestly, I do think that's literally the only way, is if Rockstar decides, hey, let's stop pumping GTA Online and actually try something for once. So what do you mean by buying groceries for $40 more? Do you mean like inflation? Or are you still like comparing to mobile games? But yeah, games are just a live service now, you know. It's a game I really liked in 2019, but lost its magic because of the service, was Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. The game that came out, the kart racer that came out 2 years ago. That game was a remaster of Crash Team Racing and technically Crash Nitro Kart. And it played so good. The controls worked right there with the retro style. The tracks were beautiful. They brought back all the CTR tracks and all the Crash Nitro Kart tracks. The campaign was great. It was $40. Awesome game. Loved it. Came out in 2019. Absolutely loved it. But then the first update, they did the classic, hey, let's add new content and new characters and new maps, which on paper sounds great. Brand new map for free. New characters for free. But you know what it was? It was a freaking battle pass. And it was free. But if you completed tasks within the game and raced online a certain number of times, you'd unlock rewards like skins and paint colors, and eventually, if you got grind enough, you get the new characters. And then, if you got in the top 5% of players, you got like a special cart that was exclusive with a livery. And then, additionally, in multiplayer, you can earn these things called pit coins, where you can also buy additional characters and paints and car liveries and all that stuff. The classic Battle Pass model, you know what that did? That made everybody just grind the living hell out of that game, to the point where online didn't become fun. It wasn't chaotic. Everybody just memorized the fastest way so they can always win, and then just, get first place every time, and then boost each other multiplayer for the coins, and made the online not fun. And then it made the replayability, honestly, was next to nothing, because Crash Team Racing is supposed to be based on the story mode, Back when it released in 1999, it was mostly, a single-player campaign with a split-screen multiplayer objective. And those two things are still in there, but they pushed the online racing. But they didn't add any new single-player content. Like, if they added Crash Nitro Kart's campaign, that would have been cool. If they added a brand new single-player with a new story, that would have been really cool. But no, they just wanted to add cosmetics. And people just grinded the game, and then it's just burnt out. It hasn't had an update in like 2 years. Or even longer now, it's 2022. It died at the beginning of 2020, I believe. And, that game was, I loved it. But now it's just CTR Nitro Field now. I mean, the campaign is still great. But now when you play the campaign, you get the pit coins and the objectives and stuff. So it's like, the only way it's good is, for speed running, really, if you're going to try and grind the campaign. And then the time trial scene, obviously, is huge. But yeah, that's just one example of a modern game that I think was held back by the service model. And here's the thing, eventually the servers will go down. And then what happens when the servers go down? You can't buy the new characters because you need the pick coins. So then once the servers go down, you'll never be able to access the rest of that game again. And you can only play the offline parts. And what's happening to PS3 games? A lot of the servers have shut down, and certain games are unplayable. Even some PS4 games are happening to this. It's gonna happen to GT Sport next year. Just mark my words. Yeah. In conclusion, modern video games are a shell of themselves and are just based on monetization and keeping people addicted. And this has been the case for like 8 years now. Because mobile freemium games started this trend and became extremely profitable, and it's somehow bled its way into console games that are full price. And, you know, it's crazy. It feels like nobody's actually trying to make a game anymore, they're trying to print money. There are very few games that are released nowadays, especially by AAA developers, that feel like a masterpiece, that feel like a work of art. And the things that do try something different, I'm gonna be that guy who references The Last of Us 2. Honestly, people like to rip on that game so much, but I do think that was probably one of the best games of 2020. You know why? It's because it did not have a games as a service model. It was just a straight up single player campaign. It got everybody to talk about it because it was so out there, and the gameplay was great. The graphics were great. The story was very engaging, like it or not. And I think, all in all, great game. It could have released in 2013 and been just as good. It could release this year and be just as good. People are going to look at that game 3 years from now and say, wow, that game's great. Even though it's literally the same thing. And similar game that I just played a few months ago was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on PS5. Everyone says that's kind of a forgettable shooter game, but it's got no service model. There are skins, but it's all unlockable through just doing objectives in the game. And same thing, gameplay's good, graphics are great, story's passable. EA Sports big games. I don't know if I played the big games. You'd have to tell me a list of like some of the entries and I could tell you if I played it or not. The thing is, I think Polyphony's issues are different than what the rest of the game market's going through. 15 laps, man. I'm gonna bump up the gear ratio a bit. Oh, I don't have a transmission. I thought I did. I guess not. Hey, like an hype. Your game's X still, right? So. Oh, I just ran right into the back of the roof. Mobile games are a joke. Well, I just said modern games are a joke. Not just mobile games. Mobile games, yeah, revealed the secret that freemium prints money. But, you know, it goes further back than that. what's your favor? Oh man, the grip. Why does this have to be 15 laps? Literally a spin out from the roof. Full spin. Yeah, the Zonda sounds great. The V12. Mercedes V12. Those darn Mercedes engines. Polluting our GT races too by being so powerful. Why do you think they're remastering the new games? The old ones are terrible. You know, the reason they are remastering the old games is because they hear us talking about how nostalgic we are for certain games. And they realize, hey, if we bring that game back, people are going to buy it. And if we modernize it, people will keep playing it. I think part of the reason why games are so monetized is because games are expensive in general to make. They need to do really well in both sales and in the secondary market, which is the DLC, in order to actually make a profit. And rather than spending years and millions of dollars on trying something new that's risky, it could flop. But if they do something that's proven to work, and is guaranteed to make money, they can estimate just based on if we pump this much DLC that takes this much effort, we can make this much profit. And part of why games are expensive is because the technology is expensive, so it takes longer, so they have to pay employees and get a lot of money for licenses and exclusivity and deals and software, 3D modeling. And it's just straight up so expensive to make a game, so it's got to make a amount of money. If it flops, then they just wasted millions of dollars. And they either fold the company, the studio, or it gets sent to work on Call of Duty games. Which is the worst fate a developer studio could see. Any news about new Pagani's? They're still on the Huayra, right? The Huayra R is just got revealed, right? I just messed up that corner completely. Huayra R is a beautiful sounding F1 like V12. It's a total game changer. HD is slightly faster since I'm capped at my top speed. Pretty good race so far. It's actually closer than Laguna Seca, I'd say, even. Zonda R and Huayra R are just both just awesome cars. They're like the best versions. I've never seen a Pagani, and I'd love to in real life. Maybe I'll see one at a car show or something this year. The Cryptoland. I watched the Moist Critical video on Cryptoland, and it just looks... It looks like a parody almost, but apparently it's a real thing. You know, I kind of feel like all the crypto stuff is a publicity stunt. And they make it so obnoxious that people talk about it. Because if it was like normal and trying to actually, not be so calling people out and trying to act so exclusive about something, people wouldn't care. But since people have a dislike for it, they're trying to do, the bad publicity is good publicity card. and you know, I feel like that's what they're doing. Because honestly, I see some of those NFT, you know, accounts and all the crypto stuff, and I gotta think, is this a real person? And are they completely serious? You know, I don't believe anything's real anymore these days. I don't know. All I'm doing is just, well, not buying it. I saw there was a viral video the other day of like the metaverse, and it just looks like VR chat. Try to wipe my glasses while I'm driving. I am a safe person, guys. That just made it worse. Yeah, the Troy Baker. You can either hate or you can create. People chose hate. Yeah, Kitty0706 or whatever, that Team Fortress 2 animator that died a few years ago. I saw that. And then also someone made an Etika NFT too. And is minting that. And there's even worse ones. I saw there was a George Floyd NFT drop called the Floydies, which there were multiple styles of a George Floyd NFT, which is I just can't believe that's anything else but a bad PR stunt. I just do not believe those are real. There's you know, certain German chancellor NFTs. Just terrible ones. Absolutely insensitive and terrible NFTs that are being pumped and minted, and people are being convinced to buy them, and I just why? Cars in the U.S., it's just they gotta produce them in the U.S. They gotta be, you know, left-hand drive. The ones that are made for Europe, the right-hand drive versions, you need to convert them. You just stole an NFT. Yeah, you don't have a hexagon profile picture. Yeah, you got it, James. Oh, why did I say Chancellor? No, I meant Führer. You know what I'm talking about. That guy. And he has an NFT. He might go after you. Yeah. But the thing is, like, you could mint an NFT with someone's screenshotted NFT and say it's my NFT. And it's just as valid as, you know, the Bored Ape Yacht Club or whatever it's called. You might not get the yacht part of it, but honestly, like, have you seen the pictures of, like, what the yacht club is and the people who go there? Like, do I wanna be in one location where all these NFT crypto bros are? Like, do you really think like that's something you wanna do? Hey Crimson, how you doing? You know how Asphalt launched NFTs of the Drive Syndicate stuff? Do you guys know anyone who actually bought them? Like, serious question, chat. Do you guys know anyone who bought the Asphalt NFTs? Yeah, Faith, the thing about Pagani cars is they're handmade in Italy. There are so few of them around in the world, and those that are just out in the wild are in storage by collectors. They're owned by collectors, and they only take them out very rarely on special occasions. Because, they're so valuable. They're precious. You get lucky, you might see one at a car show or at a museum. I think if you're in California, the Peterson Museum has a ton of them. But yeah, they are hard to find because there are so few in existence. But yeah, chat. You do know one person who actually bought the Asphalt NFT. Did they actually pay Ethereum? That's the thing. It's ooh, Esprit getting wiped out. Maybe that's the reason why I'm laughing at this early on. Yeah, tokens are going to become NFTs, right? If you take someone's NFT, it's not like a crime. You just, screenshot it and put it as your profile picture. Nothing illegal about it. They won't ban your channel, no. That's just people, crying if they like this thing. They threaten you to ban them. Because, trust me, there are thousands of people who are doing the same thing you are, just screenshotting someone else's NFT and putting it as your profile picture. You're fine. I mean, if you want to beat that guy who just has a screenshot NFT profile, that's all your decision. But I don't care. Yep, they paid for it, wow. Just what's the value in a Drive Syndicate NFT? Yeah, you own it, but its value is literally created purely on speculation and nothing else. Just speculation. There is no backing. There's no use for it. I can't go into a bar and then be like, here's my monkey, one drink please. With the NFT. I'll give you this picture. We live in a dystopia, guys. It's terrible. We play Gran Turismo because this was a time where we were chill. Didn't have crypto. Asphalt removed engine icons. I don't even know how you upgrade cars anymore. It's just... I just don't care anymore. What if they become an actual currency? Who recognizes it? The only thing I know of is there's a Visa card that's linked to your crypto wallet. So you can pay with crypto. Yeah, 8 years. I mean, the time game left, yeah, greedy, was the same time the whole game industry was becoming that. And those kind of models existed beforehand, because back then, 10 years ago, we were buying DLC packs, and Call of Duty had those custom camos that admittedly you unlock just by playing the game, but that was all there. That was ready to go. I think the closest thing you got to that was like Jetpack Joyride back in the day, where you could buy those like microtransactions that doubled your coins, and you could buy coins for the power-ups. But it was like nobody bought that because it was just like, you know, for power-ups. It's just silly. Then they started dropping those fancy cosmetics, and everyone just does that now. Vivendi everything. I mean, I feel like it would have been doomed whether it would have been an Activision game or just Vivendi. Nobody is safe. Would buy NFTs? You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. We live in a time where money is so hard to make that any pump and dump get rich quick scheme seems like a freaking lottery ticket. The thing is, everyone talks about they've spent thousands of dollars on an NFT, but do they actually make money off of it? That helps their financial situation, or did they just make a bunch of crypto and then what? They just hit the funnel into other cryptos? Yeah, GT is a solo company. They have to make money. That's just how the game model is. It's too expensive to just make a game and then forget about it, and just hope the initial 99-cent sales are good enough. The only way they can sustain their employment and their business is if they keep funneling money through microtransactions. It's crazy. Drift. I'm surprised we made our tires last this long. 15 laps on the Zonda? I thought the Zonda would burn through tires, but nope, we're just all yellow. Pretty easy series all in all, even with the stock Zonda. I tested this series with the NSX Type S0, and I maxed it out, and I couldn't keep up with the AI. That's why I went with the Zonda, because I didn't want to drop 800 grand on an XJ220 this early. Yeah, we're on the super slicks. I probably could have got away with regular slicks, even on 15 laps, but you know, it works. I could have pitted too. I could have used medium tires or whatever, but we won the race. Easy peasy. That's the MR challenge. Also just realized we hit 60 hours not too long ago. Alright, prize card time. What's it gonna be? Single event winner. Ooh. Pretty nice. So Tamikaira ZZ2. That was in the Dream Car Championship. I'm surprised that wasn't an AI. You would think it'd be like a GT40 or something, but nope. Let's go though. $543 horsepower. That is nice. Very nice. And we are at 81.2%. Almost 100 cars. That's the end of the segment. Yeah, McLaren F1. McLaren's not in this game. We wouldn't get a McLaren F1 until GT4. And then we wouldn't get the actual road car until GT5. Alright, so next up we need a 4-wheel drive car. This is where I have chat decide. I had thought of some options, so I'll lay it out what I was thinking, guys. Help me decide though. Because we gotta soup up this car. And here are our options. So first up, and this might be popular, but we just straight up buy an Evo 5. Just a yellow Evo 5 just for the memes. We've already driven an Evo 5 before in this playthrough, but we could just buy the yellow one for the memes. We could buy the Lancer Tommy Mackinnon edition. We could buy another 3000 GT. We can get a Nissan and pick up a Skyline. You know, like, even like an R32 or something. We could buy a Subaru. We've already driven the 22B before, but we could buy, like, you know, Subaru Impreza sedan. We could, we have the tuned R32 from before. Didn't we use that previously? That's pretty shit though. Most of the four-wheel drive cars are Japanese. There's no Lancia Delta road car. Just the rally. Yellow Evo 5 for the meme. Alright, so we're gonna buy a car. And, well, for the memes. We've driven one before, but you gotta do this at some point. Can't ignore it. It's a yellow Evo 5. For the memes. Alright, let's soup this thing up. I bet we'll only need... We're only gonna need the stage 3 turbo. Yeah, that's all. Let's pop in the intercooler. I don't know how much power I actually need. And then also tires for obvious reasons. Nothing else I could really grab. I mean, we could do that, but let's just go with that, the power, and just see what happens. The last Drivetrain challenge is the 4-wheel drive challenge. Declaration of 4-wheel drive supremacy. And yeah, Route 5, we're gonna stuck a deep forest. Let's hop right in. We got Skylines, Celica. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Toyota Celica. We could have done that. Oh well. Let's hope this is enough upgrades. Too. Let's squeeze there. I think we can win this though. Hit that drift. See that faint? That faint tribute. Or is it Fate of the Furious? This thing does not steer as much as I'd like. And again, it looks like all the other 4-wheel drive cars are struggling. This would need softer tires. And just like that red one. How's my straight line speed compared to everybody else? At least the finish line's close. I think we're going to need to pit because my front tires are going to be completely shot. Bonking the wall. Did you guys see the new Hot Wheels game has a SpongeBob season pass now? It looks kind of cute actually, but you know, paid DLC season pass. Yeah, I don't know. That game it's interesting. It looks like it could be fun, but I don't know. All the cars are locked behind DLC. I don't want to pay exorbitant amounts of money for ultimately a kid's game. You have a girlfriend? Hey, that's an offensive question to ask. I have my PlayStation 2. I have my PS5. That's all you need. Trying to figure out how to drive this car properly. This race will take a while though. Hey, I never said I kissed the PlayStation. The only thing I put inside the PlayStation are the discs. Yeah, but you guys, don't worry, nothing wrong. The only thing I put inside the PlayStation 5 is CDs, of course. I also stick in the USB drive, the USB external hard drive. Yeah, the only thing hard I put in the PS5 is the external hard drive. From the back, of course. That's what the instructions say. What's up, Cybercat? So wait, you're saying there's a... It's trying to be this Roblox thing. Yeah, Roblox community, I don't know, I haven't really played Roblox in 10 years. Spirit Racing is scrap. Oop, hit the brakes. Accidentally did GT moment by wall riding. I will now blaze my lap time because of this cornering advantage. There's a new Cuphead to Netflix. Is that because they're bringing games to Netflix, or like they making a Cuphead TV show? I haven't really looked at Netflix all that much, besides their stock price going down. So I think my tires might need to stop. So they don't look so good, and we're only on lap 5. Yeah, every company's stock price dropped. That was because Netflix missed its subscriber goal. But what surprised me is that every other company's stock price fell because of that. Stock market's been terrible in the US for this week, for this year really. I have a little bit of money in stocks, but I've lost a lot. Lost like 20% of my portfolio. Wait, pineapple pizza. I've never had Hawaiian pizza. I like pineapple. I like pizza. I just never had the balls to do it at the same time. I was a 130.8 with the wall ride. Jeez, and I thought that lap wasn't even that good. I don't hate pineapple pizza. Roblox racing game? Interesting. Oh my god, this is oversteering so much. You have any deal for a 1 million credit speedrun? Let me hear it, and I'll tell you if it's quick or not. Welcome back, King X. Everyone's pitting in this lap. Alright, that's my cue to go into the pits. Can't steer that corner. No loading screen. Yeah. You gotta do it like the PlayStation game for the loading screen's like a climbing segment or something. Alright, well, we should have ample time to pit. Complete a stop. Gotta get the dip underneath the highway. That's always a cool pit exit. It'd be interesting if F1 had like that. 3 hours. You can start at 2:30. So what was your strategy? What was your money grinding strategy? Because my idea is you do the European Championship 3 times and sell 3 Gillette Vertigos. It's a purely RNG based speedrun. You can do the memory card trick, but if you had optimal RNG, that could improve your time to, I'd say, a sub 2 hours. Or you could do the Super Speedway Endurance. Hope RNG gives you into the F1 car, and then just sell the F1 car. That's 1 hour. Did I lose frames from Comcast, the best internet service provider in the world? Nice, I beat my last time without wall riding. Or is it a million speedrun? It's a speedrun for 1,000,000 credits from starting the game. That's what the category is. You bought the Vits to send you effect. Win the Vits Cup. I think the fastest way involves grinding the time trials to get the Panos, and then here's the thing: is do you grind the licenses, or I just thought of this: what if you all go the B license, do the MX-5 endurance, which takes about 1 hour, and pray you get an F1 car? Anyway, we won that race quite easily. Alright, that's 1 race done. 2 to go. This is a grind, that's for sure. Let's go. 2B. He sold the Vertigo in the road car. race has a little bit of a difficulty spike. Big send. Good corkscrew. Stay on the outside, give space, but squeeze him out, and then make the corner. All in simulation mode, so you can't use the pay nose. I'm trying to keep up pace, but let's see. You might have to win this race on pit stops. Let's see, the gap is 5.3 seconds. Ooh, corkscrew uptake. 4.9, so we are slightly catching up. I just need to drive well. Yeah, you do need to rely on RNG. Could you do the memory card trick though to force a prize car though? Again. I just need to be doing like 129s here. Drive perfect laps. It's the Schumacher 14 qualifying laps, whatever that radio call was. So we make up time in the corkscrew, but then we lose time throughout the rest of the lap. That was not good. My favorite Mazda, see that door panel behind me? I don't know if you can see in the camera, but that's my favorite Mazda. Kind of a no-brainer. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you know. Give you a hint. Dorito engine. Thoughts about the F1 cars being more spec. I don't believe they're gonna be really spec. Yeah, they have a new design philosophy, but it's still supposed to be engines and then who can, you know, abuse the ground effect the most. I can just barely see that skyline. And again, 5.6 seconds. I'm really pushing. I'm trying to like focus and get some better lap times. Oh no. That corner way too early. I had the gap under 5 seconds just for a moment. But it's gonna be probably 6 seconds now. I hope his tires drop off. I do think my tires could actually make it to the end. I'm gonna have to maybe force a nose stopper. I don't know, 4.7 seconds. That was not the best corner. I broke way too late. GC2 remade Unreal Engine. That'd be interesting to see. I don't know if Unreal Engine's the best for a racing game. Not good, I bumped the wall. I cut in too early. People are starting to pit. I do agree that Matrix game does look really good. I feel like I'm like making better laps, but then the gap stays in the 4 or 5 second range. I only make time on the corkscrew. His tires never fall off. Okay, surely he pits this lap. We just have to survive. Because that was my best lap. And we still have the same gap. 4 seconds. Okay, he's pitting. We're gonna no stop. I'm gonna try and survive in these tires. Yeah, the PSP, I loved that system. You had 3 consecutive F1s from the endurance races. Nice. Gap is slowly going down. Another low 29. Alright, one more lap. Have to hold it off. I think our tires will make it. A little wide, but made the corner. That was your first Gran Turismo game, GT3? Yeah. GT2 was my very first, but this was like my first PS2 game. I remember I got GT4 for my 5th birthday. I was a little kid. That was so awesome. 2005 was awesome. Alright, we've made it to the end. That was a long race. Well, not really long, but that felt long because I was trying to focus and put in 10 qualifying laps basically. But our pit strategy paid off. The R33 Skyline, wow. Made the yellow EV5 do work though. That's all that matters. And yeah, our gaps ended up staying the same, so me pitting wouldn't have helped. Alright. We have one more race to go. I gotta run to the restroom, so I will be right back. We're back. Alright. Let's hop into the last race. Microsoft is a Disney Monopoly level. Yeah, pretty much, right? What Sony's what the DreamWorks of video games. R32, R34. Alright. 15 laps again. Wow. Well, we got 2 Subarus, 2 Nissans, and 2 Lancers. Let's go. I'm still gonna run the same tune. Didn't even bother to do anything else. Let's just see, that Skyline's gonna be a problem. So this time we will have to pit in this race. The question is, the AI, are they gonna 1-stop or 2-stop? I'm planning on 1-stopping. AI squeeze. Actually, the Subaru who goes, wow, big pass by the Skyline R34. Yeah, Hot Wheels cars are cool. I collect my Estos, and I don't really check their value, but I'm sure I've had a couple that shot up due to random rarity. Bonk. Yellow Evo 5. Whoa. Big slide. Man, I saw that Lancer coming in hot, so they got more straight line speed than I do. Everyone's got more straight line speed than me. But I can carry more speed in the corners because I can brake later. Take better lines. Whoa, except when an R32 just punts me out of nowhere. Look at how wide he's going. He's driving like a maniac. Thanks, R32. Completely messed up my race. Look at him going again. I'm gonna completely dive in the inside, no regard for others. Take his line and just go wide and just bounce off the ball. Alright. I think the R34 was just let loose, so that's gonna be more pain. Corner. Bonk. Let's try to make a dent if it occurs. I am shocked I made that corner. I thought I was going straight into the grass. We're spinning out. When I have a family if I get older or something. I don't know, man. I'm only 21. I'm too young to have kids. I am just starting to save up for a house now, but that's gonna take a while. I just last week, and I guess minor announcement has nothing to do, but just last week I finished off all my student loans. So as of right now, I am completely 100% debt free. But, now I gotta save up for a house, and I do still want to buy a new car, but, where do I put my priorities? So, it's gonna take a while for me to save up. And I don't know what to do then after that. Just grind more games. He knows how to take that corner. Wow, so the gap's now 4.5 seconds. Basically, I had to pray that the Skyline pits before lap 7. I live without having debt though. I mean, right now I'm living at my parents' place, and you know, theoretically, yeah, I could save hundreds of thousands of dollars living at home, and then buy a house with cash, have no debt. That would just take so long, and I'd waste a lot of my 20s doing that. And you know, I'm eager to get life going. Seconds now. You could catch the Skyline, I think, on pace maybe. I really don't care what happens with, Air Series turning YouTube. Okay. But I don't play Asphalt anymore, so I don't really care anymore. I don't really follow the YouTube drama or anything like that. If he wants to play Asphalt, that's fine. I literally have no reaction because I don't really care about Asphalt anymore. So yeah, sorry if anyone was disappointed by that, but I stopped playing 6 months ago, not for attention or drama, but just because I'm bored. So I don't care. Ooh, there's my saving grace. I would have passed him on the straights anyway, but there he goes into the pits, so he is going to two-stop. Well, that makes my race so much easier then. I'm disappointed. I wanted to pass him on track. Oh well. Should have just followed him into the pits then. Yeah, did they really need to add an extra 5 laps in this race? The one thing that I don't like about GT3, that's not in GT4, why are there so many unnecessarily long races, especially in the professional league? Literally all the professional league is, hey, we don't hold these cars loose by their tune, which, okay, great. But then the races are 10, 15 laps long, and you still have to do a full 3-race, 5-race, 10-race championship. All these sequences that take hours, so many hours. So after we complete Race to the Red Emblem, we hit a new meta in this game, which is grinding a single event, just one at a time, and you know, these long races can be interesting, but then once that happens, where like Skyline just pitted, I already have won the race. The only reason I need to complete the next 8 laps is because I need to get the first place trophy. And it's a long game because of that. Most of the hours are because of professional and endurance race grinding. We have 3 out of the 5 leagues totally done. Maybe during the week, I know I keep saying this over and over, I just need to find more time, and I'm trying to, stay on the work grind, the work and study grind. But maybe at some point, I should just start streaming the endurance races during the week, so we can just knock them out. Or maybe hold my streams at night and just go longer, instead of taking it up in the morning. Maybe a change to my stream schedule would help us complete this game a bit faster. Because in terms of the number of events, we are like, what, 81% or something like that done with the game? We're nearly there. Like, we just have a handful of championships, and then we get the super license, we do time trials in arcade, and then we're done with the game. That's what I mean. You grind the endurance races, in a week. The thing about endurance races is, honestly, they take about as long as a championship. They take about somewhere between 1 and 2.5 hours. So I could fit that in a stream easily. It's just there's 10 endurance races, so that's what, 10 streams if I go 2 hours on a stream. Literally about 20 or so hours of racing. And then there's the 15 lap slugs, so like there's the GT All-Stars and the All Japan GT Championship. And then we have is that GT World Championship? That's, I think, a 10 lapper. That's not going to be huge of a deal. And I'm just trying to think what else. It's literally just those 3 championships, the endurance races, and then the super license championships, but there's only 4 super license events, so it's actually not the worst. I keep forgetting to pit. My tires are starting to turn orange. Even though I'm driving just as fast. My rear left tire is fine. It is green. Legacy's pitting again. I haven't made my first stop yet. I wonder if I made a pit stop gap to the Skyline already. This is interesting. Or do I get to race him on track for a lap? There he is. I do get to race him. So literally we've kept the gaps the same pretty much. Now I've got super fresh tires. Are you talking about Niki Lauda? Niki Lauda in the 76 German Grand Prix. Yeah, that's where he, I think his drive shaft broke. The suspension broke, which sent him into the wall, and his fuel tank burst. And literally, I think the story is that 2 drivers had to freaking get out of their car, stop on the track, get out of their car, and pull him out from the fire. And that's where he got like his face burned. And he not only survived, but came back to race and actually won 2 more championships after that. Alright, Skyline, that was fun, but he stopped diving right into the pits. Yeah, 1 lap of actual wheel-to-wheel there. One more lap, and then we're done with Drivetrain challenges. The whole game. It's getting kind of exciting. crash sound effect was Niki Lauda's crash from like the original film. If you've ever seen the movie Rush, they have that scene there. Easy race. What's up, Desiree? Just in time for you to get a prize car. Wow. That Impreza actually held pretty strong in 3rd place. But yeah. If new cars are more beneficial from ground effect, then why are they heavier? I don't know, they got those thick engines. Maybe the aero, like maybe the wings are heavier? I don't know. I don't know the full spec. The animatronics get quirky. You guys notice like Five Nights at Freddy's is like huge in memes right now? It's like made a renaissance comeback. And I can't believe I could say that I've actually laughed at some of those memes. A lot of them are genuinely funny. I mean, there's still a interesting fan base, but you know, that's funny. We even have to get nostalgic with our memes nowadays. What's next? We're gonna be laughing at Dat Boy next year. Alright. We got enough camera angles. Prize car time. It's got a wing. I already have one of those. I mean, I'll take it. Free car, but I literally already have one of those and I've driven it before. Oh well. Well, that's all the Drivetrain challenge is done. Literally got that car from Rally League. There you go. Another rally car prototype. I've got the other one, right? Yeah. Right there. Alright, well. It's 81.8%. 100 cars owned now. And, yeah, still lots of racing to go. That's the end of the segment. Do you guys want to do one more race? Or do you want to call it a day? I'm giving you guys chat. I'll show you guys what we have left. So, this is the roadmap for the whole game. So, we've got this championship. I'm going to do that next week. This and this, these two championships are pain. That's going to be for... Both of these are like 4 hours long. These are going to be a grind. Basically, we do a race or two in this series. This is all done. This needs a super license. So we got those 4 events too at the end. 3 of those are going to take super long. And then we also got everything in endurance here. That will probably be started after we finish the All-Stars and All Japan G2. So what do you guys think? One more race? The skyline. So we have to find a skyline. We could drive this thing. Soup it up. What do you mean go? Like we're gonna be done, or are we gonna drive? Can you see your progress? Sure you can. Either do the race or we end the stream. We can save it for next week. I just think if we do a race now, that means we don't have to do it later. So we can make the time go by a bit quicker. Do it. Alright. So next segment, and I'm gonna hop in this Nismo GTR LM. Because we need to use a Skyline. I have a handful of Skylines. And yeah, we got these tuned Skylines. We got that 400R. Got an R34 that we've used. But I think let's use the GTR LM, since we need some power. What's the max I can do? Only 550 horsepower. Interesting. I actually think I'm gonna need that though. So let's put on the Stage 4 Turbo. As big and expensive as it is, we got the money. Give it a racing intercooler too. And maybe this will be enough. Not gonna do anything else, just buy slick tires, super slick tires. And let's go for it. So, our last single race series, technically you can count like the wings, but we're getting close to the end of the game in terms of event counts, but not in terms of time. But yeah, Skyline only race. For some reason, they allow the race cars, but I digress. First up is Cookeh? Yeah. We could sell that Evo V1, that is true. I don't think money's a huge issue right now, though. These are all tuned. Oh, there's a Skyline GTS type in. All V specs. Let's see how this does, though. 10 laps on Tokyo. We're gonna get some thick turbo lag. Look at this box. This thing doesn't feel like it has 600 horsepower. Yeah, it is nostalgic. This car was in GT1, I believe. It's like a special, not a cover car, but it was like one of the icons of the game. Okay, so this car has some downforce, I think. There's all the old Skylines, and I think our new Skylines are up there. Yeah, GT7, I'm gonna have fun. I think I'm gonna like it. Maybe the community won't, but I'm definitely gonna have fun. I don't mind that I pre-ordered. I think it'll be a good game. Alright, I think we have the power to win, so we just gotta figure out how to drive this car. This car drives a lot differently than everything else I've driven. It's like a pseudo race car. It has some downforce, got some cornering. Acceleration's a bit slower than I would have thought for 600 horsepower on a turbo car. But so far, it's packing a punch. Got this big turbo lag here, but I can manage it. Only 5 gears. trying to like see if third gear is good, but then third gear with the turbo. Ugh. I can't tell if I'm catching up or not. I think I am. This car's got downforce. Just trying to get my slipstream going. Downforce. Maybe? Yes, we can. Sweet. Interesting. This car is weird with the competition. Corner's better, which is good. It's slower in a straight line, which is bad for the end of the lap. And then unknown on tires compared to everybody else. I think this could no stop though. So if we need to play tire strategy, we could. Downforce means we use less tires than cars without it. So I think we'll be actually good on tires regardless of if we get past them in the straight. Trying to use the top of second gear when I get to that point. It's weird, there's like a specific range where the turbo works. It's funny, because in the stage 4 turbo, you'd think this would pack up a punch, but not quite. mentioned half distance. We are vibing. Oh, look at that. The Skylines are pitting. Literally at half distance. Are they all pitting? It's 4 out of 5. All 5 of the Skylines pitted on lap 5. Every single one of them. I feel like I should just do that by proxy. So, you're asking me about Abu Dhabi 2021 just to spice it up in the chat. Oh man. You want to know what I honestly think? And promise not to call me a simp or a fanboy or a crybaby or whatever. In my honest opinion, that was fixed. Even if the intentions were to fix the championship, that race was totally fumbled and, as we call in American football, ref ball. Yeah, back tires are fine. I could definitely go more laps. I just feel like just pitting by proxy. But maybe we could try it. Maybe we try and make the no stop work. Let's go a few more laps just for fun. Not that this really matters anyway. We have such a huge lead. But yeah, in my honest opinion, that was only benefited for Max. And a lot of people will point to the, rushing the cleanup process by making those 5 cars in front of Max unlap themselves and then immediately restarting the race. But in my opinion, the bigger mess up was them saying lapped cars will not overtake. Christian Horner then going on the radio complaining about that. And then the race director reversing his decision after that radio statement. Now, I don't know if he did that at Christian Horner's request or not. But I don't get why everybody will slam Toto Wolff for screaming on the radio, but not Christian Horner for doing literally the exact same thing. They're both trying to win the championship for their driver. Either way, I believe that that decision was made to restart just so that they can get a lap of green flag and nothing else. That they could sell their drama, get their last lap pass, get those views on YouTube, get people to talk about it. And if it was any other race throughout the season, or any other year, it would have ended under the safety car. I am certain it would have ended under the safety car. Look at Bahrain last year, Bahrain 2019, Brazil 2012. That was a season finale, a title decided under a safety car, and everyone was fine with that. And obviously nobody complains about, no Alonso fans complain about the race director keeping the safety car out at the end. So, you know, I will say I am definitely tired of hearing all the drama and all the arguing online, people taking these hot takes, but Verstappen is the world champion. That's a fact. They can't take that away from him. Even if the FIA investigates, yeah, they messed up, they can't undo that. In my opinion, that last lap tainted what was the best Formula 1 season in years. Absolutely the best since 2012, and up to that point, one of the best of all time, I'd say. But I don't know. Things are going to get ugly, I believe, when we get to when it comes to the race director, things are going to get pretty ugly. I think, and I know this is before everything comes back to racing, but I think this is going to bite back the FIA at some point in the near future. This is going to come back to haunt them. And I'm not saying that, oh, Mercedes fans will never live this down. They won't. But something's going to happen where the race director's going to have his hands tied again, and then something bad's going to happen. We're able to no-stop this. You know, just because I didn't like that race doesn't mean I'm, you know, gonna stop watching F1. No, I love F1. I'm gonna watch every race of the next season like any other. And you know, last year I was pretty neutral on the title fight. Yes, I know I always say like I'm a Red Bull guy, and I follow Max and all the social media stuff and all that. But honestly, like, last year was like a different Max Verstappen, and it was the title-winning Max. He drove a perfect season, I'd argue, last season. Fully deserving of the title. But when we talk about Abu Dhabi, you cannot say, oh, Max deserved a stroke of luck because of the season he had. In sports, you're only as good as your last race, and objectively, under any other circumstances, Max would have finished second in the championship despite, you know, his near perfect driving in the season. You gotta look at Hamilton also having a really good season. Obviously didn't win the title, so I wouldn't call it perfect, and he had mistakes, yes, but they both ended up on tied points, so their results throughout the season end up in that situation. Sports, in sports, it's never about who deserves it, it's about who wins. And, you know, if you have an unlucky crash, a puncture, you're clumsy, you have rain mess you up, Scratchy mess you up, you can drive, as Hamilton did, pretty much. He drove pretty much 53 laps, something like that. He drove all laps of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix perfect. And actually, he even drove his last lap fine. Safety car call and a strategy, well, with your hands tied. All that matters is who is leading on the last lap. And I love how Max fans like to say he was deserving, but the same way Max won the championship, all that matters is who is leading at the end of the season. And yeah, Max crossed the line first, he won the race. Max did nothing wrong. I'd say that nothing should be directed as hate towards Max. He got a stroke of luck, and you know, he made his pass cleanly. He didn't crash on the last lap. He was in a position where he could take advantage of a strategy call, and he drove his race. He did everything he needed to do to win. so did Hamilton. It's just a shame that the stewards and race directors kind of had their hands tied and had to pick a side. There was no good outcome, regardless of what decision they made. I still will die on the fence that they should have red flagged the race so that they can have both cars in equal tires, and then just have social media do its thing. They can red flag the race, even if it's unorthodox. They have the full power to do that, so why not just do it? Anyway, that was an easy dub. We didn't even need to make a pit stop. I hope, although I have no hope, honestly, I hope the community doesn't, like, extremely influence the future of the FIA. Because if you go on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any social media that has F1 on it, it is just pure toxicity, especially when you look at a Max Stan account versus a Lewis Stan account, or all the Stan accounts even the Vettel camp. I'm wearing a Vettel cap. Even that's not safe. There's so many just toxic people online, and they have to have this superiority complex where if you don't like this person, that means you're my enemy, or if you like this person, that means you not must like person B. You know, it's all this garbage, and they overanalyze every little piece of every driver's life. They're freaking parasocial almost. Like, literally, we are cheering for athletes, and just leave it at that. I'm going to root for Vettel, no matter what next year's season. Not because, oh, he deserves to be rooted for, oh, he's humble. No, I just like Seb, and I have since I was a kid. And I'm just going to root for him. If he crashes, I will be there to support him. If he retires, I will be there to support him. If he wins, I will be there to support him. I hate how everyone has to bandwagon off somebody. It's like, dude, I just am a fan of Seb. We're there on his good days and his bad days. I will defend him. Because that's what you do in sports. If you guys have any team sports, if you're local, you know, in the US, every city has their teams. For instance, I love the Chicago Blackhawks, like hockey. I don't know if you can really see, but I have a ton of like Blackhawks posters and art around my room. I support them when they're in their winning years, or when they're in their bad years, like this one. This year the Hawks suck, but, you know, I just, you know, we just watch the games, root for them, hope the players do well. Sometimes there's demons, like the Blackhawks had a pretty huge scandal last year, and it makes you uncomfortable, but you support your team because they're kind of like, I don't want to say they're your family, but like, for instance, I root for a Chicago team because that kind of represents me in a way. Like, they're my hometown. I grew up in the Chicago area. So if my hometown wins a national sport, which declares them, like, you know, the best of that year or whatever, that makes everybody feel good. Everyone's happy. It's entertaining. So, yes, we don't have an American driver. And I support Seb in the same way I'd support, like, a Chicago sports team. But, you know, it's fun. Sports is about having fun. Especially being a fan of sports is about having fun. And I feel like F1 fans are not having enough fun. They just want to kill everybody. Anyway, rant over. I was just getting a replay shot. We got plenty of those. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. Just because I kind of want to grab food. I'm hungry. So, you can just take a quick peek at our status. We're at 82%. I'm going to save the game though. We'll do a jump cut or whatever. Yeah, that's going to be it for this stream. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe as always. I didn't end up getting COVID, so awesome. Or if I did, I was asymptomatic. I don't know. I feel fine though. So COVID scare done. And yeah, stay safe as always. Have fun. I'll see you guys next week. We will finish off this series and start championship. Maybe I'll do a weeknight or something. I'll figure something out. We gotta do the new Track Mania season at some point, and I also gotta pick up Forza, and then in a month and a half or so GT7 comes out, so I gotta plan that in too. Regardless, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you guys later. Bye bye.